All right, Robin. Regarding Fred's bachelor party, before we... Hey, Scott, get me ready for the next break to go out on the street with Stuttering John. Regarding Fred's bachelor party, I got a negative letter saying, Howard, I can't believe what a douche you are.
What does this mean?
For Christ's sake. You take this poor guy Fred out for a bachelor party and then spend 2 days so far tattling on him like some little bitch in the schoolyard. Don't you know that a bachelor party is a sacred thing? Fred should have been able to get tanked and make love to a German Shepherd if he wanted to. And your job should be to make sure no one finds out.
Oh, see, that's why you probably never got invited to any bachelor parties. You couldn't keep the secrecy.
No. No wonder he didn't let you know about the wedding. He probably didn't want to hear you talk about how cheap the buffet was for a week and a half.
And it was cheap.
Sure, we expected to hear about the bachelor party, but this just ain't right. And that Robin is obviously so jealous of Gay Rich getting her sugar. She can't keep her soup coolers shut either.
Her soup cooler. I love it.
Soup coolers. Man, you owe Fred an apology.
Who? The soup coolers?
I don't know. Well, at least he's taking the abuse like a man. He could give you lessons, you pussy.
Soup coolers.
Otherwise, keep up the excellent work. Signed, Fred's mother-in-law.
Oh.
All right.
Didn't you get a thing from Scores the other day that said they would gladly rethrow the bachelor party for Fred without booze?
Listen, let me tell you something. I would love to have that bachelor party over again because just as things were heating up.
Fred hit the deck.
Fred hit the deck and that was the end of it.
Man, pull the plug.
He hit the deck with his face.
You know, I don't know that it'll be as great because I don't know that 25 strippers would come again because...
You guys didn't tip right.
If I sign a waiver saying I'm not going to drink, will that help?
No, it wasn't that. It was that the guys basically didn't tip good. The girls were getting very frustrated.
Yeah, they didn't think it was a good party. They weren't making the kind of dough they expected.
Well, maybe if I invite some more high rollers.
That might help.
Maybe
like, who do you know?
Well, who do I know that actually will spread some dough around? Wayne Siegel, maybe?
Wayne might.
He might not even come. He's working so hard.
Yeah, his boss don't let him out. He's not working for his daddy anymore.
No, doesn't have the full run of the place.
I don't know. Actually, I don't really know any high rollers.
You don't know any high rollers. That's what I thought.
We know Keith Hernandez, but he probably doesn't have any money left either. Who?
Like Aerosmith or somebody like that.
Yeah, well, yeah,
They're
Aerosmith. But they're not going to come to Fred's stupid bachelor party. Hey,
Jackie's certainly not applying as a high roller.
No. There's not a guy who's going to tip a dime.
Here's a catalog.
Full color.
Yeah, it's not catalog.
Here's a full color Jokeland catalog, honey.
Put that in your car.
Take off your top.
Yeah.
Well, Howard, you know the truth of it is
that
you could get high rollers in a second if we wanted to get strangers. You know these morons that line up to pay a fortune to do anything.
What about your buddy, Larry Schwartz? He's a millionaire.
Yes, I'm sure you would love to come.
Yeah, but he always ends up with getting all the girls. I get so
Tony
jealous.
Visconti wanted to come.
He's got no money.
Oh, of course, he would tip.
Oh, please. Tony Visconti made a David Bowie record 100 years ago.
He must have saved something.
I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. Tony Visconti.
I think he would know how to act in this situation.
Dee Snider hasn't worked in 5 years. Who am I going to invite that has money? There's nobody that I know. So maybe what we ought to do is just get 10 girls, and then we'll have more money to go around.
Donald Trump.
Yeah, he'd go.
Yeah, what about Trump?
Why don't you invite him?
Trump is infamously cheap, though. That's how he got rich.
Right.
But out in a situation like that,
he might spread around some money.
Spread it around to impress all the people around him, so they'll talk about what a great guy Trump is and how big a tipper he is. Guy's got the life.
What about promoters like Cher or Delsner or somebody like that?
Well, I don't know. You know, but then Fred's bachelor party is ruined because
you're with strangers.
We're with strangers. What I liked about the first bachelor party was Fred felt comfortable enough to act stupid. You know what I mean?
A little too comfortable.
Yeah. It was just... And it was cool, too, because it was like me, and I like partying with Neil.
Look over and find Ralph and Ronnie and Neil.
You know, see Scott the engineer.
Dominic.
You've always discouraged Dominic for being too crazy. Why don't you do the opposite? Just have Dominic come and encourage him to go nuts with the money.
No, I never discourage him. That's why he's there, because he has money and he's willing to spend it.
He did go nuts with the money this last time. He bought a lot of funny money on his own.
Yeah.
Maybe we could say we could put a minimum that guys have to bring with them, maybe like $100 a head, except for, you know, the interns who can't afford it. But mostly everyone would have to bring $100 a person.
Because these girls are all going, I'm used to making $1,000 a night in cash.
The guy
go, $1,000? What'd you make tonight? 40.
Oh,
that was in the afternoon, too.
Yeah, I know, but
money in the afternoon.
These guys were all saying the night's young.
I mean, you know, these guys were getting a free meal, free drinks, which Fred took advantage of.
More than advantage.
And they were getting free everything.
Yeah, free girls.
They could have dipped into their pocket. I went for a few hundred.
Then they get indignant when they ran out of funny money, and they go, Gary, give me some funny money. I'm like, we're out. They're like, what?
Oh.
Yeah.
See, that funny money should have been spread around interns and stuff like that. Guys who have jobs should have been shelling out some of their own bucks.
Right, but
instead, it was just the opposite.
But guys were getting dances at $80 a pop.
Yeah.
Just keep dancing.
What is it, Stuttering John?
The guy who set everything up at Scores on the phone, he wants to tell you that the girls loved it. That they don't,
really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Well, he might just be saying that.
This is Lonnie.
Oh, I mean, hey, Lonnie.
Hi, Howard.
Yeah, this is Lonnie from Scores.
Are you okay, Lonnie? I know you got a big fright.
Lonnie said when Fred passed out at the bachelor party and broke his chin and everything, Lonnie just turned to me and goes, this happens all the time. He says, don't panic. I've seen much worse. He goes, these are drunks. I go, but you don't understand. I said, Fred's bleeding. He goes, take Fred, put him out in front of the club. He'll air out.
He knew most of that. He knew most of that was his booze.
But Lonnie was right. Fred's fine. Right, Lonnie?
Howard, Fred is fine. The girls loved it.
Really?
They love being around you.
Really?
Are you kidding? And my boss, Craig Carlino, has authorized me to tell you, we want to do it again.
Yeah.
We're going to give you all the funny money that's ever been printed.
How much funny money do you got? And the girls really get paid off that funny money?
Yeah, they get to keep the money. It's terrific.
Really?
They loved it. 25 girls. You want to do 10? I say let's do 50 girls.
Yes.
And we'll print funny money for a week.
50 girls. Yeah.
But no tequila for Fred.
No. Fred's not allowed to drink.
And I'm coming with a football.
What is it, Ralph? What are you doing in here suddenly? You know what I'm going to do just for kicks? I'm going to leave you out of the bachelor party.
Yeah, leave him out on that corner he wound up on.
Yeah, Ralph passed out on a corner on 57th Street, and everyone saw him.
Let's push Ralph.
I didn't pass out.
What do you want to say, quickly?
I was in Scores the next night. I stopped in there for a few minutes.
Yeah, yeah, no one remembered you.
Yeah. No, one of the girls was complaining to me. She was saying, what happened to all the funny money? Like, they said that it wasn't all handed out, that we left with it. And
left with? Why would we leave with it?
Yeah, I
don't know. She said there was like...
Yeah, we paid the hospital in funny money. When you go to Scores, you can buy funny money.
Yeah.
And the funny money is, so you don't have to walk around with real dollar bills. You know, you buy 20s, and then you can, you know... Like Monopoly money.
Yeah.
So Scores was very generous in giving us some complimentary funny money.
Well, Howard, when you see Boy Gary having 3 girls at a time, it goes very quick.
It does.
But we're gonna solve it. We'll give you more funny money than has ever been printed. No tequila, but tons of funny money.
Endless funny money. Wow. Hey, I heard Sean Penn was in your place the other night.
Yes.
I read that in the paper today. And then he gave his phone. He got some girl's phone number over there.
Really?
Well,
that's exciting when you're single and then you can hook up with the girls afterwards.
He's not really that single.
He's single.
Isn't he married to that woman?
They've never married.
No, he's allowed. He's one of those guys who just automatically sets the rules.
But they have a child together.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Hey, I'm dating. You know, it's like one of those things.
Yeah, that's how Howard imagines it. He has to go home and take grief.
Really?
She's pretty good looking, too.
Well, he could just leave her anytime he wants.
And maybe she could leave him.
She's as good looking as any of those girls.
What kind of money does Sean Penn tip?
Sean Penn is a $100 a dance guy.
Is that right?
Oh.
He has to show off.
Does he really?
Yeah.
And that's what you should be doing, because you're in his league.
Well, we'll give Howard
not.
hundreds of funny money, that's all.
Yeah, you better give me hundreds.
Yeah, forget 20.
Yeah, don't make me look bad. I need hundreds.
Start printing.
I thought I was being...
Girls loved you. Look, there are always going to be a handful of girls that say, I'm jealous, so-and-so made more than I did. But we're going to solve that. We're going to give you so much money, the girls are going to think that they know you're king of all media, but they're going to think you're the greatest They're going to respect everyone in the party.
Fred missed his whole bachelor party.
I don't think that you guys can go out again. Fred's not even recovered.
I've got a theory. That we could have Fred's bachelor party every week.
Maybe that's a weekly affair.
You know what
you want? Can you guys be open by 10:30 today?
See, the party got segregated very quickly.
Yeah.
What happened was there were 25 girls. What happened was there was a handful of girls, probably about 6 or 7. And I saw them sitting at a table outside of our room.
Right.
And I think that they either didn't feel they were getting enough or just got sick of competing for the money.
Right. Yeah, they were like,
it's a competition.
It was a competition going on.
You know what I think happens because there were more girls than guys, the first couple of songs, everybody was getting a dance, and 6 girls who are normally used to men going crazy over them had nothing to do. They had to wait.
I know. To me, it was almost like having too much ice cream, because at some point there was like so many girls. I was like, so what? Show me something new. You know what I mean?
At one point, one girl was giving me a dance, and then some other girl like honed in, and it was sort of annoying. Like I couldn't concentrate.
Yeah, but can you imagine 50 girls with thousands of dollars of funny money?
Yeah.
Can you imagine what would go on there?
You need a little less to focus in on 1 or 2 of them.
I don't know about that.
Hey, Ralph, why don't you
Maybe you ought to
in?
bring them in shifts.
Yeah, dickhead. You're lucky to be in the room.
And a late shift.
Yeah, why don't we bring them in shifts?
Well, that's originally what we were going to do. We were going to bring them in 8 at a time. Because there was 25 of them, I figured we'd cut them into thirds.
All right, maybe. Hey, listen, I told you were in charge of the bachelor party.
And then I said, Howard, what do you want to do? You said, bring them all in.
Well, I got carried away.
and that worked well, too.
It did. I mean, I had a good time.
But for the sake of the girls, some could be resting and staying fresh,
Lonnie's a good man, though. You got some good-looking girls over there.
And I will make sure that we have at least 2 girls that are paramedics instead of 1.
Oh, good, yeah.
Have them close to Fred.
It was really weird that one of the strippers was a paramedic. And she was really good-looking.
Maybe you should have a full-fledged doctor and a
can you have a surgeon? Can you have a plastic surgeon on the scene?
There you go. Who gets paid in funny money?
Like a mass unit.
Oh, man. All right. Hey, Lonnie, we might take you up on that.
Listen, it's my boss, Craig Carlino. He thinks that anything you want, we'll lock the doors, and it's done. Anything you want, Howard. How's that for an invitation?
So what you're saying is, in other words, you'll lock the doors?
Lock the doors. It's you and your guys, and whatever you want, you got.
Oh, man.
Now, that's a bachelor party, Fred.
That is definitely a bachelor
This might be better.
I say do-over. How about bachelor year?
Yeah.
Do-over.
We keep doing it until we get it right.
Yeah.
Howard, when we planned it, we had more girls coming in at 4 o'clock in the afternoon because we thought we could keep you there all day.
We would have been there all day. I wasn't leaving.
It was Fred that ended the party.
It was perfect for me. My wife was out of town for the day.
So there were a couple of dozen girls who were coming in the late shift at 4 o'clock.
You're never going to have a day like that again, though.
Fred, well, I'll just send my wife somewhere.
That's it.
What is it, Stuttering John?
I just want to say, I say we do it again.
See, John and Jackie didn't make it. That's why they wanted to do it for them.
I volunteer to babysit Fred.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
All right.
And Jackie can have all my booze.
I was going to say, Jackie will drink your shot.
Jackie will be the one to fall on his face.
Maybe we should do a night party.
Man,
start on
night
Saturday night.
Well, I would also suggest
night's hard to get out when you're married to my wife.
Hotel rooms, just in case Ralph over-imbibes.
Ralph over Ralph.
Why would you?
Because Ralph
sleep on the street.
Because Ralph will use the hotel room whether he imbibes or not.
I see.
No, I'm not paying for a hotel room for Ralph.
It's more fun to see where Ralph ends up.
Yeah, it's fun to see him laying in the middle of the gutter.
I wasn't past that.
I was just resting.
Right.
It was 91 degrees. He was
no embarrassment on your part, right? Just laying there on the street like a homeless.
None whatsoever.
That's because he's been...
Lonnie, can you build us an apartment in the back? So that we can...
A condo.
A condo?
Set some cots up.
Yeah, just that's all. All right, so you're telling me we could have Fred's bachelor party again. I don't know. My wife doesn't have a sense of humor anymore. Saturday night's a tough one. Saturday night would be a tough one for me to get out of the house.
Why don't you call her now?
Wait.
No, I'm not calling her. I'm not asking for permission. I'm just going.
I have the answer.
What's the answer?
I have the answer. We have a vacation coming up at the end of August.
Go ahead.
You don't want to wait?
I want to have it this week.
Yeah, but imagine you can get a weeknight out, and
my wife becomes even more possessive and angry during the vacation. She's like, you can't go out. Well, I waited. I want to have a vacation with you. We should have gone away.
What about Rosh Hashanah?
Rosh Hashanah? What are you, drunk? Drunk. After work is the only way.
How about Friday, man?
What?
About Friday.
This Friday?
Yeah.
Friday.
Again?
Friday. bunch of ugly guys getting all worked up.
Freddie, you'll have no problem getting out, right?
Not a problem.
I'm a man. I'll be there.
How about that?
Friday afternoon, no problem.
I'll be there.
I have to go where Wolf goes.
I'm going Thursday. I'll be waiting when you get there.
There's a man. There you're talking. Don't let your wife pussy whip you. My wife's going to give me grief. I just yell back at her. That's all.
She didn't say anything about this past weekend.
No. She has some nerve.
She was gone. What could she say?
What did she say?
I don't even know why you want to go.
Hey, if we come
I want to do it for Fred. I don't care about
I want to do it for me, too.
I'm saying that's what your wife must say to you.
Well, Fred ruined the whole other bachelor
So
party.
I want to make it up to you guys.
God, that was a bummer.
Well, Fred, what are you going to do this time?
I'm not trying to top that, that's for sure. I'm
You know
just going to go and enjoy and dance.
You feel real stupid?
my relationship with Rich. I don't know.
You feel... Let's get Gay Rich there for
Rich
Fred.
is coming
Hey,
again.
guys, for Fred.
Hey, Lonnie, did you see Gay Rich on top of Fred right before he had his accident?
I certainly did, and you can tell Rich that we will not cash in his funny money because he's not a valid employee.
Right.
Have you ever thought of
But you saw Fred... Be honest, Lonnie. You saw Fred stroking Gay Rich and everything, right?
I am an eyewitness.
And what did you think?
What did you think was going on? Did you think Fred was gay?
I thought that... I don't get in trouble.
What's his name, Lonnie? Wait a minute, Lonnie.
Gay club. Yeah.
Lonnie, you said you've seen a lot of people fall and crack their chins like Fred, but have you ever seen anybody do that in your club?
That's right. That's a first. It's the first time someone chose man over
I do have a first.
There you go.
Now I don't feel like
It was
so
wild,
special
man.
anymore.
It was wild. Yeah, Lonnie was up there looking.
It's also the first time anyone ever chose to do lip service instead of coming to score.
You big dope.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. All right, well, Lonnie, we're going to probably take you up on that, but you feel real stupid when you first walk into the bachelor party because, like, you're there and you feel kind of uptight, you know what I mean? You feel like just another horny guy.
You were unwound in no time at all.
Yeah, but in 10 minutes I forgot how stupid the whole thing was.
You know what it is? I'll tell you exactly what it comes down to. And Ralph even agrees with me on this. You need about 15 minutes to convince yourself it's not the middle of the day.
Right.
You feel like an idiot.
Yeah. It's just weird. You walk in, and it's like everyone's there waiting to see girls. And then when it's like a boy-girl party. When the girls first come into the room, you're like, oh, hello. Like nobody's talking to anyone.
You don't want to like start staring at them.
Yeah,
you
right.
Feel all uncomfortable. You need to.
I have this this stupid desire to please everyone. So I'm busy. Girls, this is the guy who does Ren and Stimpy. I'm trying to prove to the girls.
Introducing everybody.
Yeah, and I'm trying to prove to the girls. Yeah, that some of these guys actually have happening jobs.
You told some of the girls that I did the voices of Beavis and Butthead.
I said that he was the creator of Beavis and Butthead.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, well, he doesn't Beavis and Butthead, so he's like, oh, hello.
Hello, girls.
Yeah. And then I told, Fat Al Rosenberg walked in, who's not real physically impressive. I told him that he owned the Fox network. They don't know who Rupert Murdoch is.
But after he gave them no money, they knew it wasn't true.
Yeah, and Dan Foreman was the head of Paramount.
I'll say anything.
No, I said when Dan walked in, I told the truth. I said, "Hey, girls, the executive producer of Channel 4 News," and Dan freaked out. He goes, "Don't say that! Don't say that! I don't want that known because they know that." I go, Dan, what's going to happen? What's going to happen if people know that? I'm incognito. Okay. You're a nut is what you are.
They might try and get a date with Sue Simmons.
Don't tell me that.
Should we try to invite any celebrities?
Yeah, maybe we ought to pack up with a few celebrities so the girls are like...
But like who? Like if David Lee Roth was in town, that'd be great.
He's not in town?
I think he's on tour.
Yeah, but then he'll get all the girls.
And all we know... And yeah, we need to... We
want to be the most impressive guy.
You want to bring Gilbert?
Yeah, but Scores... He acts like a homo. Scores is... he's worse than Fred in a club. I am telling you, if Scores loads us up with tons of funny money...
Yeah. Ask Geraldo to come.
Like, what's a really good tip for a girl, after she really puts out a good dance?
Really, you just keep giving them 20s and they're happy.
Really?
Really.
Got to feed them like pigeons.
But if you want them to think of you as a big star, you give them 100.
Hey, Lonnie, tell Howard how much money people blow a night there.
Well, a lot of people do business there. They're signing a big deal, or it's a salesman entertaining a client, so they just have to let loose, and it adds up. It's $20 a song. You just keep the girls coming.
All right.
Keep the songs going.
Yeah, well... We're all cheap.
I know a record company guy, not my friend Ross, but another record company guy who said he had to take a band and the manager. They were in Houston at one of those clubs. You know what the bill was for the night?
No.
It was about $9,000.
Wow.
They were drinking. They kept ordering bottles of champagne, And they just kept signing everything, and then the guy just put it on his credit card.
Well,
the guy from the record company put it on his credit card.
Let me top that. Charlie Sheen comes in with a few guys, and he spent $20,000 one night.
Really?
With a few guys.
$20,000.
Wait a second. This is a guy that paid $95,000 for a ball from the 1986 World Series that was a fake.
Yeah,
I know. He's
At least these girls were real.
$20,000. Huh? The girls must have loved him.
The whole party lasted maybe an hour. It goes quick.
Really? $20,000.
Wow. You guys did nothing.
Those girls must have hated us.
You could take a bucket and throw money out the window and get the same result.
I don't think I could throw a bucket of $20,000 out that quick.
No, the girls loved you, and like I said, I've got to...
You know what we got to figure out, because we're all so cheap? We got to figure out a way for, like, E! Network to pick up the tab.
You know
what
what's
I mean?
funny? I'm sitting there thinking Charlie Sheen was probably with 3 guys. How many of you were there?
About 15.
And you probably spent $100.
There was probably about $300 spent. What is it?
Our wallet's on the phone. Dominic Barbara.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Here. On the phone, of course, Lonnie from Scores and the bloated attorney, Dominic Barbara.
While you're talking about Charlie Sheen spending $20,000, Scott got a girl to take her clothes off to dance. He had no money in his pocket. The girl looked at him and said, well, give me the money. Scott had nothing. She put her clothes back on and walked away.
Yeah, well, that's Scott the engineer. You see, that's what I'm talking about when we have a party.
You guys are horrid.
Scott the engineer, will never shell out any... I mean, here are girls dancing for him.
Clothes off.
Yeah, I mean, it's
no money.
Hey, you see, this is why I can't have a bachelor party with these guys. Hey, Scott, come in here, you cheap frog.
Surprised he didn't hand his wig over.
Yeah.
They should have taken his wig and trade.
Oh,
hey, you're dancing for Scott the engineer.
You're dancing for me. Hey, you're lucky. I'm Scott the engineer. 10% off at your next gig. I'm very famous.
I'll play your wedding.
Yeah. I'll mention your name.
No, this is why I can't have a bachelor party. You know, Scott, you're the reason why I get a bad reputation.
You know, you are the opposite of
Good.
a high roller.
By the way, you're not invited.
Okay. Ask him about it when it happens.
That's fine. All right. That's fine. All right, that's fine. I got my naked girl. Screw you.
I mean, how could a girl who, for a living, and you're the one who's always complaining you don't get paid enough and you work hard, a girl comes over, takes her clothes off for you, gives you a private dance, and you can't give her a tip?
I gave her $20.
No, you ran out of money. You asked me for money yet.
Right, and then I took 20.
You have no shame going to Dominic for money.
I took 20.
Who are you, a little boy?
I took Dad, can I have some money?
Uncle Dominic.
No, he was handing... I mean, you're a guy who makes a decent living.
He was handing out funny money. I thought he had some more. Yeah. I took $20 out of my wallet and gave it to him.
Real cash?
Wow.
Real cash. It is true.
Dominic's a lawyer. He doesn't lie.
I'm sorry. Geraldo and Donald Trump will come to the party. Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah, when you say definitely, it means maybe or probably not.
Yeah, like he hasn't talked to him.
Yeah, right.
And Elvis will be there, too.
But Lonnie's saying we won't need them because he's going to load us up.
We're thrilled to have Howard Stern, king of all media.
Yeah,
that's enough for us.
Give it away.
Hey, Lonnie's not a bad connection.
Yeah. We've never been treated this nicely by anyone.
Hey, we should invite like Joey Buttafuoco, but he doesn't have any money. Does he tip?
No, but that'd be great.
Hey, that'd be a goof.
But you know what? Again, you're inviting people who are going to take away from you.
Right.
They get,
Wait a minute. Even Joey Buttafuoco?
Yeah, because they don't get to see him often. These girls have already met Howard. Now
but he's kind of wacky. He can get things going.
But don't you want to be the biggest celebrity there?
Yeah. Do you think Joey Buttafuoco is a bigger celebrity than me?
Only
people want to
You
see
insult me.
I don't.
Joey Buttafuoco was involved in a scandal.
No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I meant the only.
Dominic, please. You're not on duty right now.
Leave him alone. He's a good guy. That's what I was trying to say to Gary. He's sitting there saying, "Hey, Buttafuoco will siphon off all the girls from you."
And I don't mind. You know what? I don't want to be the only guy there who is sort of famous, because then they all just start hanging around me, waiting for like all kinds of money.
How about letting me plan the next party? I've done pretty good in the past.
He has. What do you mean? What, you going to invite people?
I'll do all the invites and all the planning.
You're full of judges.
Yeah, but who are you? But you got to.
Huh?
I want you there.
I'm not.
Yeah, but the problem is, Dominic, you're going to invite people who you want to get as clients and stuff to stare at me.
No.
And Dominic shows up with his son to Fred's bachelor party.
Yeah,
Talk about what is that about?
Was he good at the party?
No, it was weird.
Good, he didn't say anything, and he took all the girls.
Yeah, he was a good-looking kid. He got 3 girls. He siphoned off 3 girls. And what's the point of having your son there, man? And what's with you? You'll be a big homo. You sit there and you don't even get a lap dance.
I'm in charge of the next party. I'm dancing.
Every time Dominic comes to a party, he sits there and he, every guy's getting a lap dance. Maybe it's because Dominic doesn't have a lap. I don't know. But
look for him.
Where's my lap? But he sits there, and then he'll come up to me and he'll worry about me and stuff, and he's walking around. I go, hey, mother hen, why don't you sit down and join the fun?
He's in the kitchen making sure the food's good.
He's sitting right by the buffet.
I didn't need a thing.
Dominic monitors everything to make sure everybody else is having a good time.
Yeah, he's a facilitator.
Facilitator.
Well.
I'm planning the next party. Put me in charge, boss.
I don't know if you want him in charge of the guest list.
I don't know.
And that food's good, by the way.
Do we want to put him in charge?
No, because you know what? He's a great guy, but he doesn't know. I know what you're looking for.
Right.
And he doesn't know those people. Nothing against you, Dominic. Howard's looking for celebrities that'll be fun.
Thank you, Dominic. Okay, very good. Listen, I got to go, guys. Lonnie?
Yes, Howard.
And Dominic put Lonnie to sleep.
Yeah. I am thinking, though, what about Eric Roberts? He's a friend of the show.
Hey, why don't we get like Eric Roberts and Robin Leach has plenty of dough. And that guy knows how to spend.
Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill knows that. Yeah, does he have money? I don't think he's seen money in a while, Mark Hamill.
He's doing that Joker thing. He should have made some money.
Yeah, 10 cents. So he makes the same amount of money as the guy from Beavis and Butthead. You have no money.
You don't think he had points on any of those Star Wars movies?
No, I don't think so.
Points are cool.
Okay, here's who I say. Get Mark Hamill. If you want, I could get the two guys from my film studio. Those guys got tons of dough.
Okay. They're perfect because they have tons of dough and nobody knows them.
Yeah.
They're perfect.
The guy...
How about Chip and Donnie? Are they too...
they have no money.
No, and then, you know what? And then they get real drunk, and they're all over me going, I love you, Howard, man.
And they're hoarders.
You're our bro. This is the best. Little brother. Jim Carrey? Yeah, and he's single.
Oh, he's too big. Nobody else.
Hey, you know who would be good? A.C. Cowlings, OJ's friend. He's pretty wild.
Yeah, 1 minute you're screaming for him to go to jail, next minute you're partying.
Well, I'll party with the dude. It don't make a difference to me.
Now he's of use to us.
Yeah, we got to load it up with some guys who have some money, and plus, between the funny money that we get from Lonnie. Lonnie, how much funny money are we looking at?
How much did we go through last party?
About, I think it was $3 or $4 grand.
You're kidding.
So let's multiply that a few times.
Yeah. Now you're talking, Lonnie. Yeah, we want to look like big shots.
Again, Ralph is smiling because it means nothing out of his pocket.
Right.
Hey, Lonnie, can I save some for the next time I come there?
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Ralph found a way to live like a millionaire.
Yeah.
There you go.
Going to scores.
Off Lonnie.
Right. Poor Lonnie's.
I love Lonnie.
Poor Lonnie's hide.
Who else do you know?
How about Charlie Hammond in Garden City Hotel?
Who? Charlie? Charlie doesn't have money.
No, see, that's who your party would be filled with.
Yeah. See, that's who, Dominic, you don't know how to invite.
Not the guest list.
Yeah, Dominic,
I think Garrett,
you're invited, but don't make the guest list, okay?
Maury Povich?
No, he's a square.
He wouldn't.
He can't even get Connie Chung pregnant.
How about the vice president of Atlantic Records? You want him to come?
No. Wait, one of your little buddies?
He's got cash.
Yeah, I don't want him.
All right.
Believe me, he's not going to want to know you in another album. Don't get too friendly with him. Yeah. Don't put him in your Rolodex in ink.
Who's this John Menendez?
Yeah.
Are there any lesbians we could invite?
Yeah. And why don't we get some of our own girls, too? Can you do that, Lonnie?
We're going to lock the door for you, Howard. Whatever goes on,
that's our business. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
You're making it real easy to attend.
Yeah. My wife just said, "Oh, that's great."
What? A locked door?
What?
I'm coming.
Yeah.
We're definitely
when do you guys want to have Fred's bachelor party?
Friday.
Today. Friday?
Yeah, Friday's the best.
Yeah, Friday's all right for me.
Because you get drunk and you don't have to worry.
I don't know if I can make it.
Friday? I'm up for Friday.
Ralph has a dental appointment.
Yeah. All right, Friday it is. Fred's bachelor party, Friday.
Yeah! We'll keep doing it till we get it right.
Right.
Could you put chalk around the blood stain?
Bring a plaque.
Because I think you should start the afternoon with a moment of silence.
Exactly. You should go around the blood
I'll get
stain.
down in the same position and then just resume the party from there.
All right, Lonnie, we'll see you then.
Okay, thank you very much, Howard.
All right, Lonnie. Thanks, Lonnie from Scores. And Dominic, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Dominic Barber, bloated attorney.
Bachelor party, bachelor party.
I don't know how many times we can keep getting away with throwing Fred, a married guy, a bachelor party, but I'm up for seeing how many times we can do it.
This is a new scam of yours.
This is great. I love it.
I'm getting married in a couple weeks.
Someone else has to get hurt next time. I can't do it.
Yeah, you know, you could always just be getting engaged, Ralph, and then not getting married.
Hey, why don't you call Arnold Schwarzenegger, see if he wants to go?
Oh, sure.
I'm not sure.
How about Alec Baldwin?
Yeah, he'll go.
Yeah.
He's a man's man.
Yeah, but he's got Kim Basinger.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I guess he gets tired of that.
Get tired of anyone.
Yeah.
Billy Joel and Christy Brinkley broke up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Invite Billy.
All right, you're in charge of the guest list. Plan it strategically so it's a little more interesting. And then also even invite some girls that we know.
You mean to dance?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Load it up with girls who don't even want to be paid. They're just happy to be mentioned on the radio.
They like to dance for the sport of it.
Right. You know, like half the girls from the New Year's Eve party.
And then they'll probably even get crazier because they'll probably try to outdo the professional girls.
Right. There'll be a little competition going.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Stripper.
I know exactly who to call.
Isn't it funny how, like, I'll yell at you guys all the time, but when it comes to strippers, we all think alike?
One common mind.
Yeah.
Everything comes to one.
And there's an open call to all, all interesting, wealthy people because they'll spend money, make us look good. So make your appointments to be invited.
No, if you know us and you have money,
you're in.
If you know us and you have money.
So we'll look, and you're willing to give us money.
That's 212-759-KFAX, KFAX. Fax us and tell us why you should come to the party.
Maybe you should set a minimum of some kind that they have to know that they have to bring or something.
Yeah, easily. They have to bring at least $1,500 minimum.
And if we get enough of those,
and
if we get enough of those, we'll just up the ante.
Right. So that'll balance out guys like Scott the engineer who sit there and go, I'm sorry, I don't have any. Sorry, I don't have. I didn't realize the cost. I thought it was all included. I thought you stripped for free.
I thought you were doing it for me.
I thought you were attracted to me. I thought you were attracted to my scintillating personality. I thought you liked my personality. Oh, my wig.
Yeah, you need guys to cover for you stiffs.
Yeah, like I know Ronnie the limo driver's not a big tipper either.
No, you got Ronnie and Neil there.
Yeah.
That's dead wood.
I know. Dead weight. Yeah, Ronnie sits there like a king, makes a girl dance for him for 2 hours, then gives her a 20.
There you go.
Here you go, good girl.
And feels magnanimous.
Yeah, feels like he's done something.
I worked hard for that 20. I don't just give it up for anybody.
Ronnie's the guy, when we take him to Atlantic City, he pushes his way next to Dominic, and Dominic gives him money.
Last time, Ronnie knocked me over to get next to Dominic.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to spend anything. And hey, listen, okay, cool, but then don't come to a bachelor party where girls are expecting 40s, 50s, 60s, $80, $100 tip.
Just remember the kind of girls Ronnie used to get for you when you were throwing Super Bowl parties.
Yeah.
Those girls would come across town for a 20.
Skeevy, ugly hookers. I know. And believe me, they were happy to get it.
Vietnamese boat people.
Yeah.
We still have a picture of one of those girls on the door.
Yeah.
She looked like Steven Tyler from Aerosmith.
Exactly. All right, why don't we take a break now that everyone's all excited about the big bachelor party? Fred, you're not allowed to drink. You can have 2 or 3 drinks.
I ain't touching nothing.
I think that someone should be
You can have water, Fred. I can't. I'm going to be like still fresh.
Gay Rich.
You said that last time.
Jay Rich is going to be assigned to you. He's going to watch you the whole time.
Gay Rich on one side, Jackie on the other.
There you go.
Can't go wrong.
Gay Rich is bringing a variety of thongs.
Right. And Gay Rich has got to bring a bunch of different thongs to get in.
Yeah, you already have one girl coming.
Like those little feather things, like
the boas
on the head, like a little headpiece. Those little feathers.
I hear you. Excellent.
All right. What's that?
Dice.
Dice don't have money anymore. Dice had money last year. All right, we'll be back right after these words. Oh, good. Here's a picture of Gary at the. Here, I'll show this to the camera. Here's a picture of Gary. He's gotten heavy. This is a picture of the fat Gary.
Look at that. He's got the little, the T-shirt doesn't quite go to the pants. I like that.
That's Gary. Gary really is so fat.
I think what you're seeing is Gary filling out. You know, he's getting
more manly.
Male stature.
Yeah, he's becoming more of a man. He's not a boy anymore.
Somebody who hadn't seen Gary in a long time had lunch with him last week and told me, Gary, when I last saw Gary was a goofy kid.
Now he's a goofy man. Now he's a goofy man.
He's a goofy grown-up.
Yeah. His face, though, is distorted looking. Like someone who's been socked in the jaw or something.
Yeah, he's gotten, that wide jawline.
Yeah. His teeth are bigger, his jawline is bigger. He's become a caricature of himself. Hey,
he looks like his drawings now.
Yeah, let me tell you about Fred's bachelor party.
There was a bachelor party, too. That's right.
Yeah, Friday. So we go over to Scores, our favorite strip club.
You know what is funny? Everybody I told that Fred was doing this again, they thought he was out of his mind.
Hey, he wasn't.
No, not at all.
Just the idea of within a week after having such a horrible disaster, going back to the scene of his crime.
Yeah, he didn't drink, I'll tell you that. We walked in and Scores had a big thing of Yoo-Hoo for him, so he wouldn't get in trouble.
So all he had was Yoo-Hoo?
Yeah, all he drank was Yoo-Hoo and Perrier's.
Good.
That's it.
Anyway, so Scores is a strip club here in New York. High-class kind of club.
What does it look like in there?
It's nice, it's not like a sleazy club. It's like you go in there and you could have a few drinks and not be grossed out,
I started to go with you, but I got the distinct impression you didn't want me around, so I went home.
Yeah, I guess you were reading the correct signals. Yeah. Wouldn't have been the same kind of party with you there. Unless you were willing.
I wouldn't have stayed long. I was just going out to see the lay of the land and who showed up.
Yeah, well, I can tell you everything that happened.
Yeah, right. You can't even tell me what the place looked like.
It'll be just like being there. So, it's just like, it's a high-class kind of club, Scores. And we got there.
What are there, tables and chairs or couches? What?
It's kind of like a health club. It's like clean.
Yeah, it's
nice.
clean. It's not sleazy.
It's not like a strip club.
That's why
Is it bright? Is it dark?
Well, when we get there, it's dark because we requested the lights be out. But it's the kind of thing where you expect strip clubs to be real sleazy and dirty and dumps, but what they did was they made a high-class place. That's why they get so many good-looking girls to work there. They figure, hey, it's kind of clean in there, and it's not a sleazy thing, so you see, like, really good-looking women there, and I think they pay the women really well.
I would hope so.
Yeah. So anyway, we go over there at about 11:15 in the afternoon, and they set up a private room for us. First, they had a full buffet out.
Another one.
Yeah, but this was even better. They had lobster.
Ooh.
Shelled lobster.
Yeah.
No work.
Right. It was just like, it was all cracked open for you and everything. I was on a diet, so I didn't eat anything, but the guys tell me it was real good.
You couldn't eat the lobster?
And they had lobster. I just eaten lunch. That's where I get into trouble. That's where I gain weight, where I'd go in and go, oh, I just ate lunch, but there's lobster. That's dietetic. And then I'd eat 2 lunches. So they had lobster, they had macaroni, and shrimp scampi, and all different kinds of things.
Filet mignon.
Yeah, really good food. See, you wouldn't expect that in a strip club.
You wouldn't expect any food in a strip club.
Yeah, right, but this was like really good food.
Yes.
So, it shows you it's like they're serious about being in business, because you could get good food there and naked girls. And good-looking naked girls.
I mean, that's all the time they serve food. I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can get food there all the time.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, that's how they make money.
Didn't you notice when you walk in on the left, there's a giant lobster tank?
I did notice that, and I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah. Howard thought it was a pool.
Yeah, I thought it was just like something you dunked a girl's breast in or something. I don't know. Hey, girls, want to turn on? Put your chest right in that lobster tank. I had no idea what it was. I thought maybe you throw your own genitalia in there just to cool them down after you've been in there for a while. Yeah, right. Who knew?
It's kinky.
Yeah, who knew?
No, I really didn't know they served food at all.
Yeah, so they had like a whole buffet there. We got in the room, and the girls were still getting dressed for, in their special evening wear. They come out in evening gowns and stuff.
No, because I was going to say they're strippers.
Yeah, well, they don't come out naked. They come out wearing like special outfits. So they were getting dressed, so we were eating, and there was only about, 12 guys.
It was a low turnout.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, who showed up this time? Who's on the list this time?
I think there was nobody new except for the spin doctors.
Oh, they did show up.
Oh, yeah.
And with them...
He always gives away my whole story.
Oh.
He's such a
Why
fat
do you leave him here?
The worst producer in the world.
Why do you leave him here?
I don't know. He just leaves nothing to the imagination for me. There was no one new except for the spin doctors. Hey, here's a picture of Gary producing at the party. Someone snapped this photo of him. There he is. My helper.
Oh, no.
The monkey. And there's Gary. Where's Gary Puppet? I want to talk to him. Where's Gary Puppet?
Yeah, he'll help you out with the story better.
Yeah. Gary Puppet, why do you insist? What are you wearing today? Gary Puppet, what are you wearing today?
Hold on 1 second, Wolf. I'm wearing my Gary button.
Oh, button? What does it say? I can't see it.
It says, Gary.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to have a new outfit on today, but I see you're dressed very conservative.
No, we're back to our conservative outfit until Ralph of Hollywood finds me another one.
Right. So, Gary Puppet, why do you always, when I'm telling a story, the one major thing, why do you always have to reveal it like 20 minutes before I'm going to? Why do you always just, you know how some people work intuitively together, they just know the right thing to say? Why is it in your case you never know the right thing to say?
Oh, I don't know, Wolf. Facts are stupid things. I can't be bothered with them.
It's just you never know how to read my mind, do you?
I know, but don't confuse me with the facts, Wolf. I got a closed mind. I'm sorry.
What'd you do this weekend, Gary Puppet?
I was learning to count to 10.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you want to hear?
Sure.
1, 2, 3, and another, and another, and another. How am I doing?
You're doing real good.
Thank you, Wolf. When my wife goes into her contraptions, I want to be ready to take her to the hospital.
When your wife goes into contractions?
Contractions, not contraptions.
It's not contraptions?
No.
Then why did I bother learning to count?
Right.
She's fragrant, you know.
She's fragrant?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
You mean pregnant?
That too.
All right, very good. Thank you, Gary Puppet.
Thank you, Wolf.
Okay.
I love you.
Okay, I love you too. Gary Puppet works better with me than the actual Gary. Anyway, so you get to this strip club. Oh.
Now you can't even look at it. It's disgusting.
I go to this place called Scores, which is a real high-class strip club. It really is high-class. And it was the same...
as high class as a strip club could be, I suppose.
Yeah, and you get it was the same group of guys except for Jeff Schick showed up from IBM.
Oh, he did come.
Yeah, he came.
Wayne
Siegel was there.
But there was no Dan or Al Rosenberg, and Dominic only stayed for a short time.
Yeah, it was real weird. So we get there, and, you know, everyone's eating. So there's only like 12 guys, and I walk in, and the guy from Scores... See, the reason I was uptight about the first bachelor party is I noticed that none of the guys were reaching into their own pocket and tipping the girls.
Right.
We had 25 women who are used to making thousands of dollars, and our guys walk in, and they're all with me, so these girls think it's a bunch of high rollers, and the guys never once even dip into their pocket for $5.
Right, so the girls wind up making no money, and they came out especially for this party thinking this would be a good payday.
Yeah, so it looks bad for me. So I'm reaching in my pocket overcompensating because nobody...
But you can't compensate for what, 20 guys?
Yeah, I had 20 guys. And I'm tipping and everything, but there's like a few guys who just sit there like King Tut. These girls perform for them and dance, and they don't tip. So I felt like a real dope. I mean, like I'm sitting there the whole time getting embarrassed. And then Fred falls on his face and is bleeding.
And throws up.
Yeah.
Everything.
And these guys haven't made up money. I mean, Scores is out of pocket. They've put up money for food and drinks, and they're treating us nice. The guys could at least chip in for a couple of girls. I mean, where else are they going to get girls? Like, 25 girls for 12 guys.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, the guy from Scores this time, we walk in, he hands us $5,000 in funny money. $5,000.
That sounds good.
So there's 12 guys. They distribute the $5,000. I took like $700, and then Gary just handed out the rest.
We gave like $300 a guy.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so that's pretty good. And this time the girls were pretty happy because they saw there was money in the room. And it really was like, it's really cool when you have that much money on you because it is like feeding bread to ducks. The ducks just keep running after you. Right. And then when I go through like $5,000, the guy from Scores would give us another $1,000.
Are you kidding?
What, $2,000?
He gave us $2,000.
And after that $2,000, we must have gone through $10,000 in funny money.
Yeah. Yep.
And it wasn't any of your money?
No. None. The guy was real nice to us because he says, "Hey, you've always said good things about us, so here's your payment."
Wow.
I said,
"Well,
"Well,
you got a free bachelor party."
Yeah,
twice.
Yeah, but I'm not going back there anymore. They've been more than generous to us.
Yeah, I think that you should pay from now on.
Yeah, so do I. I don't mind going with guys who pay something. It's just that our guys don't pay anything.
Well, the guys you hang out with.
Right. Right.
Your crew.
Yeah, my posse. My posse of guys.
Cheap posse.
The cheap posse. And all these guys think they're King Tut. They shouldn't have to pay anybody to dance for them.
Well, you know, if Charlie Sheen is going to bring a group of people, though, he expects to pay.
So it was really cool, and as Gary mentioned earlier, we're sitting there, and who shows up? The Spin Doctors.
So they did actually come along.
Yeah, so that guy Chris, the guy with the beard from the Spin Doctors, is sitting on the couch next to me.
Uh-huh.
And as true to form, because he's a rock star, there was about 10 girls all over him.
Immediately. Did they know who he was immediately, or did he have to announce?
No, they know who he was.
Yeah.
He's on MTV all the time, so they knew who he was.
They tune into MTV.
Yeah, and word was out that it was Spin Doctors.
And it didn't hurt that they were... Did you notice they were playing Spin Doctors videos on the monitor?
Yeah.
Forget about it.
Yeah, so those guys walked in, and immediately there's like 10 girls on...
Did the whole band show up?
There was about 3 guys from the band.
It was the guitar player and... The drummer didn't show up. No, okay. There was a guitar player, and then one of their managers and one of the guys from the record company were putting them all together.
Yeah, no bass player, though. He's engaged.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, his girlfriend wasn't letting him go.
No.
She had him in tow.
So I had like about 3 or 4 girls near me at all times, on top of me, jumping down on my head, everything, because I had funny money. I mean, I had thousands of dollars of funny money.
Sticking out of your collar?
I'm sitting there with the girls, right? This is a 21-year-old girl. She was beautiful, and she's the right age for me. Because I deserve a 21-year-old.
You're amazing.
So that way, by the time I'm 60, she'll be 40. Be perfect.
She'll always still be a young chick to you.
Right. So by the time I'm dead, she'll still be young. So this girl is talking to me, and she says, Howard, how old are you? I said, how old do I look? She goes, 30. I go, here's 20.
So you start paying her for the compliment.
Yeah, I didn't pay for dances. I go, let me ask you something. If I said to you right now, I want to sleep with you, would you let me? She goes, probably. Here's 20. So I just hand out the funny money like crazy.
You didn't even have to dance.
No, none of them had to dance or do anything. I was just handing out money for compliments.
See, when you get that much money, you go nuts.
Yeah.
I was giving every girl $40 for a dance instead of 20.
I went through $1,000 in 10 minutes. Because there was like 7 girls around me, and I just kept throwing 20s in there, little G-strings.
Now, Howard, I don't want to jump ahead, but did you hear what happened with the guy from the Spin Doctors?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm getting to.
All right. I wasn't sure if you knew.
Knew? I was sitting next to him.
Because I got stuck with it.
Well, wait a second. You might be talking about something. Let me tell you what I think.
Okay, okay.
No, so Chris from the Spin Doctors, he's a single guy, so he can have fun. But the next thing I know, Chris is up and has his pants off.
Oh, no, this is something different.
Oh.
What do you mean he has his pants off?
I said, hey, Chris, but the girls ripped his underpants off. I saw this guy's got a...
Really?
Did you guys see it?
No.
Oh, my God. This guy... You couldn't see. You couldn't miss it. It hit me in the face almost.
Or him. There was a wall of women around.
That is true.
Well, let me tell you something.
It was like 3 deep.
Ralph was sitting right next to me. He saw. I said, Ralph, take a look at the guy from the Spin Doctors.
A girl curtain, huh?
Well, he quickly pulled his pants back up, but...
So they really got his whole... Everything was hanging out, huh?
Well, I think it was an accident. He was just like... I said... I don't know. He just took his pants down for a second to show his underwear.
Joking around.
He's joking around, but he didn't mind having his underpants come down because...
Well, he was sitting there... like this, like fully exposed, and didn't really seem to care.
He didn't care because he was huge.
Huge?
I mean, the biggest I've ever seen.
Bigger than
Jeff Galooly?
Yeah. Bigger than Jeff Galooly.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Huge.
That would never have crossed my mind after meeting him.
Unbelievable.
You know, it sort of stands to reason now that I think about it. Guys like that, you know...
Skinny little guys.
Are always like
that. This guy was huge. I mean... Robin,
and
he wasn't
those little wiry guys.
I did a double. How many times do I smack Ralph in the head and go, look at the guy's weenie from the Spin Doctors?
That's all you could say.
Yeah, I mean, it was, forget the Schween Doctor.
And he wasn't even fully excited.
No, he was regular, and you
mean, wait a minute. He's not fully excited is what Ralph is saying.
No, he wasn't excited.
He just had a big old smile.
What did the girls say? I mean, did you notice the reaction from the girls?
I think those girls have seen it all.
Yeah, they didn't get excited.
They were like,
we got more excited.
Yeah, we were more into it. They were just like, meh, big deal.
Oh,
you know,
put your pants back on.
Yeah, put your pants on, you stupid idiot. Go get a shave.
So he was having a good time.
Yeah, he had a great time, and I don't know, he left...
Well, here's what happened.
What?
So the whole time we're there, I keep hearing his guy from his record company or the other guy, like the manager, going, Gary, we need more money, and I just kept giving them more and more, spreading out. So finally, 4 girls come up to me, and they said, listen, we danced for that guy for like a half an hour, and he promised us $500 a piece.
Oh, dear.
And, of course, no, they want me to pay up.
Yeah, right.
So I said, listen, so I sort of huddled with him, and he's like, Gary, man, you got to help me out, because, these girls really took care of me. They were dancing with me for, for a long time. So I gave them all a lot of money. I didn't have $500 a piece.
Right.
I might have given them like $200 a piece or something like that. And when I left, I saw one of the girls talking to the manager. I think she was going to get her money out of somebody.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So Chris had promised each of them $500.
No, not Chris.
Yes, Chris.
Oh, Chris did?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get out of Gary.
Yeah, I thought it was the manager.
No, Chris. Chris is the one. He put his arm around me. He's like, Gary.
Oh, no wonder they were all over him.
They took such good care of me.
Yeah, right.
And like I said, the girl was talking to the manager.
Yeah,
it looked like she was angry. Like she said, hey, I was promised X amount of dollars and I want it.
They thought he was loaded.
Yeah.
Well, he was, but he didn't have any money.
I thought it was because he was a rock star. I didn't realize. You know what? That guy's got some move. He walks into the club and goes, each of you, $500.
Yeah. Over here.
I think it went more like they started dancing for him and they said, you want us to keep going?
Yeah.
And he said, yeah. And he pays them. Want me to go for another song? And he paid him. And then I think he just ran out of money.
So
and
he
just said, keep going and put it on my bill.
Right.
And he couldn't pay the bill.
Very nice.
No wonder they were like all over him. Oh man, I'm stupid. I should just go in and promise him $500.
Why not? Then leave it on Gary.
He's like, hey honey, take me to court.
That guy knows how to do it. You just go to Gary and say, Gary, help me out.
Yeah.
But as usual, it was really funny because the whole afternoon the girls would come to me and they would go, "Are you Gary?" And I'd say, yeah. That guy over there told me that you have money, you pay me.
Yeah.
I'm out of money. And then they run over, and then I'd see the guy go, no, go back to Gary. They go, he said you got the money.
I have to admit I did that once.
The guy from the Spin Doctors is quite a hustler, isn't he? Chris.
No wonder his stepmother threw his laundry out.
Yeah, maybe his stepmother was right.
She had a grievance.
We ought to call him. Yeah. If I knew his number, I would. I don't know. He was thanking me profusely when he left.
Yeah.
They had a wonderful time.
How long did he stay?
He stayed for about an hour.
Yeah.
Even a little bit longer.
Maybe longer.
Because you know what? Sound check at Jones Beach was 2 o'clock, and he was still there at 1:30.
Yeah. Yeah, they weren't leaving so quick. It was a pretty good party.
At one point, one of the girls was on my lap, and she points over to the guitar player, and she goes, "Who's that?" I go, "Oh, no, he's just a roadie."
Yeah. The single guys basically have a much better time than the married ones.
Is that right?
The married ones get a little uptight, like myself, but I think the single guys can really let loose in there.
You were having fun.
I was having a good time, but not as good as you.
Did Ralph find his way into strange places again?
I don't know. I don't know what happened, but Fred, how was? So Fred stayed to the. All I know is
Fred you didn't even see Fred.
At one point, I was in a coma. I opened my eyes up, and then all of a sudden, I look around. and I go, I'm like the only guy left here.
What? You were the one who was complaining that you had to leave early.
Gary left. Jackie left. Everyone left.
Robin, I left at 1:45, right?
Yeah.
I went to go say goodbye to Howard, just to let him know I was leaving. And it was like a goof. It was just like 5 girls around and you could not see Howard. And I had to push them out of the way. They weren't moving.
I was the only one left with money.
You were the guy who said, I'm not going to be there long, and I hope you guys don't mind if I leave early.
But I wasn't there long. I left at 2 o'clock. I mean, the party started at 11. It didn't even start really with the women till about noon, so it was 2 hours.
Yeah, but you're saying everybody left you.
Yeah, all I know is I looked around and I go, everyone's gone. It was like the weirdest thing. Here's like 25 beautiful women.
I didn't leave.
No,
you stayed till a bitter end.
I think he stayed way after I did. He was begging me not to leave. And then I saw Fred on the way out drinking Perrier.
Yeah.
He was sitting where? Where was he?
He was standing, just having a good time smiling.
Yeah.
When you first walked in, Fred had they had a little throne for him. And a big bucket of Yoo-Hoos. That's what Fred had to drink was Yoo-Hoo.
Yeah, but Fred didn't drink the Yoo-Hoo.
And then they put tape down on the floor to simulate where Fred's body was. And then we all got T-shirts and hats that said, I survived Fred's do-over bachelor party at Scores with the date on it.
Funny.
Yeah.
So did Fred go visit the memorial that they set up to his loss of blood?
Matter of fact, I even posted pictures inside the little chalk line they've drawn on the floor.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool bachelor party, though, wasn't it, Fred?
It was terrific.
It was good.
It's even better sober.
Yeah. I think Fred learned his lesson. He was acting differently at the second bachelor party.
I have to say that I really thought you guys exaggerated about the girls, and you didn't.
They were really good looking, right?
I was I was real shocked.
You were shocked, yeah.
I thought you were doing it for the air, and every single one. It was like it was impossible to choose who to have dance for you.
I know. I looked around and saw Jackie was going, but I knew Jackie was leaving around 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, but then I would say at around 1:45 or so, after Gary left, everyone was like gone. So just went home and the party ended.
So when did you finally just get up and say, well, girls, I gotta go?
2:15 maybe.
Do you have any money left at that point?
No, I handed it all out.
Yeah.
The guy from Scores kept coming over and said, here, hand it out. Then he comes over and I said, I gotta leave. And he goes, here, girls. He starts throwing more money. Don't let Howard leave. And I said, no. I gotta go already. I gotta leave already. He was more than gracious, that guy.
And it doesn't bother you that these girls are just there for the money?
It does, but...
You deal with it.
You get over it real quick. It bothers you before you go in and when you leave, but while you're there, it doesn't seem to matter.
Yeah, right. When you leave...
I don't know. I mean, just that idea that, you know, the girls weren't saying, oh, Howard, please don't go, until the guy threw some money up in the air.
Yeah.
You get caught up in the whirlpool of women.
Exactly. It's working.
There was a 21-year-old there I fell in love with, though.
Ooh.
I might have had to leave my wife for her, so I had to get out of the club.
You fell in love with her.
I did. She was perfect for me.
How dare you insult your wife by saying that?
She was perfect in every way. We got to take a break. So that's our day at Scores.
What do you mean she was perfect in every way? You don't even know the girl.
It's why she was perfect. That's why I liked her.
She didn't say a word.
All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with your phone calls right after these words. If you... remember, we went to Fred's bachelor party. And at the bachelor party, Fred drank 15 tequilas, maybe 16 at this point, followed by a beer each time.
Period, yes.
Followed by a beer each time within 2 hours.
I really, you know, even the 16 tequilas would be enough. But 16 beers.
Yes. And Fred, some of those tequilas were served to him in a champagne glass or something.
So they may have been double shots.
Yeah.
Right. We don't know what he had, but he...
Do you realize how much volume that is? 16 beers. And Fred didn't get up.
Well, let me tell you something. To make a long story short, because we've gone through this story ad nauseum. Fred passed out, flat on his face. We thought he was dead, so we told Gary, quickly call the EMS, because we had to get Fred to the hospital.
Right, you thought he was dead.
He was bleeding from all over. So the EMS people were nice enough to send to us.
Did you ever get down and actually touch Fred when he was in this condition?
No, I don't want to touch Fred. No, I've learned that you don't touch someone when they're in that condition.
No, I mean, he's laying on the ground. Did you take his pulse? Did you?
No. We were very fortunate that one of the strippers was a trained paramedic as well as the chef.
But she wasn't right next to Fred when he fell.
No, but they got him within 2 seconds.
And she was taking care of me while Dominic lifted her dress.
In other words, you never went near Fred.
Absolutely not. I know. I've heard every article I ever read. Don't touch the body.
It didn't say don't touch the body. You have to, if you see somebody drop, you have to determine whether they're alive.
No,
or not.
I did. I was down by him. Did I physically grab his head? No, I wasn't going to grab his head.
I didn't say grab his head. No. I said, did you take his pulse?
No.
Did you check his breathing?
No, I don't know how to take his pulse, and I don't know how to check his breathing. Plus, a girl. I was in the middle of a lap dance.
Oh.
Don't forget, Fred had just vomited on me, Robin.
Yeah. And we were all afraid of lawsuits.
That's right.
All I know is that poor Fred had to rely on a stripper because none of his friends would touch him.
Yeah. Well, if you saw the blood pouring out of Fred, you wouldn't touch him either. Anyway, so here,
just keep in mind that I walked into the room and somebody just said, call 911.
So I didn't take Fred's pulse. I couldn't take Fred's pulse now, let alone there.
I didn't know what was going on. Somebody said, just call 911.
Right.
You wouldn't know how to check to see if somebody's heart was still beating.
No, I wouldn't. I do not get in.
You are worthless.
I am not in the medical profession.
You hold your glasses to his mouth.
Oh, please. I'm not going to put my glasses to his mouth. You put your glasses to his mouth.
I figure he saw Fred bleeding and he ran the other way.
No, he was there.
I was there, believe me. I saw what was going on.
Away.
In fact, I was the one who first pronounced Fred dead. I was ready to bury him.
Across the room.
I said, Fred's dead. That's it.
That's it. History.
That's it. So here's Gary, who quickly called... First he called his machine to check for messages, and then quickly called EMS. I just want to hear... Because this is going to be interesting. I have not heard this yet, by the way.
Poor Fred. It's lucky Fred's alive.
I tell you.
Police 1092, where's emergency?
Yes, it's at a club called Scores. It's on 60th between 1st and 2nd.
East 60th Street between 1st Avenue and 2nd Avenue?
That's correct.
And what's wrong there?
Somebody fell down. It looks like they might have cracked their head open.
Okay, and this place is called Scores?
Scores.
S-C-O-R-E-S?
Yeah.
First floor?
Yes.
What's the number you're calling from?
What's the number here, Lonnie? 421. 421.
Hold on for EMS. Don't hang up the phone.
I won't.
Okay.
I can hear
You
her.
mean that's all the information you haven't even talked to EMS yet?
Right. I can hear her giggling at your teeth. Do you hear her chuckling?
Yes, yes. No, you can hear the. Can you hear the music in the background?
Yes. But what's interesting to me is that Gary, instead of telling them what's wrong first, gives the address.
That's what they ask you, Robin. What are you, crazy?
I didn't hear a question.
Oh, what are you...
Hey, come on, he's handling himself pretty well. Don't nitpick.
Maybe he would have gotten to EMS sooner.
Fred's laying on the floor. It looks like John Lennon, and Gary's holding his... You kept your composure. No wonder you're so anxious for us to play this. You really kept your composure.
She asked what the address was.
Right.
Fred's still bleeding.
EMS 8629. Okay, 8629. I'm 1092. I'm Manhattan calling the line. Thank you. Caller in Manhattan. Is the patient awake and breathing?
I think so, yes.
Male or female?
Male.
Awake? How could you say he was awake?
I didn't know. I walked into the room. Fred was down. I didn't see anything. Dominic goes, quick, call 911. I was in there for a half a second.
Well, then you're in the room. Don't you ask what's wrong?
Someone said call 911 quick. Nobody had time.
Yeah, but I mean, the guy was unconscious.
I did not see that.
I did not know that.
You didn't see him laying on the floor?
No, I didn't. I mean, I saw him on the floor.
Well, you were the wrong guy to send.
Gary's always the wrong guy. What do you...
I know. Yeah, I think so. Well, we'll take our time if he's awake. Well, why doesn't he walk over to the hospital?
Is he male or female? I think he's male.
No, I didn't say that.
How could you say he was awake? The whole point was he was unconscious.
Oh, everybody knows now. I couldn't see that then.
Approximately how old?
35.
What happened to him, sir?
He fell down, and I think he might have smashed his head open or something.
You know what it is? You got to sound like something's real bad, too.
Well, this is really bad. Fred's unconscious.
Yeah, but Gary...
He's lying in a pool of blood.
Gary backpedals.
Hey, Howard, there were people that were saying, oh, don't call 911.
Yeah, that was Ralph. No, one guy was saying
somebody
that.
Said, should we call? No, we don't need to call. Maybe we better call.
No, it was Ralph. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
In all that debate, you never looked over to see what condition Fred was in?
No, I didn't.
He knew what condition he was in. He gets confused by the questions.
Fred.
How could I tell he was unconscious, both?
I saw his eyes closed, but...
He wasn't moving, but I don't know. Maybe he could hear me.
He might have been just taking a rest.
You got to say everything is bad. You call EMS.
Say now.
But you weren't even telling the truth, Gary.
No, I can't tell. You know what?
What? Did she just say, is he bleeding? And you said you can't tell?
I could not tell.
There was a pool of blood around him. Was pouring.
I didn't see a pool of blood.
Oh, my God. No wonder they took so long.
They didn't take so long.
They would have been there faster.
They were there very quickly.
They were there in 2 seconds.
What's that?
They would have been there in 1 second if you told them they were bleeding. It's a miracle they showed up. God bless EMS.
Thanks, because Gary's giving them all.
The way Gary was making it, probably the woman would have said, hey, you know.
Bring him to the hospital yourself.
Yeah, what's with you guys? He's not bleeding. He's conscious. How could a guy split his head open and not be bleeding?
Only in Gary's world.
You know, this is a great defense for you. You know, people complain about the EMS service.
This is the kind of call they have to decipher.
Yeah. If you were an EMS worker, you would assume that everything was not that bad.
He cracked his head open and there's no blood.
You guys are the biggest...
He's conscious.
He's a conscious, cracked open head with no blood.
I believe he's eating a burger with some ketchup.
He's getting another table dance.
Howard?
I see sliced onions.
Is there anything?
But if you could drop by here and just take a look for yourself.
Is there anything in the world that you and Robin can't do better? Is there anything?
Oh, this I definitely could have done better.
Then
this
why
I know I could.
Then why didn't you?
Because I was assisting Fred.
Doing what? You were standing on the side.
He was making sure that
Fred needed me.
You already just said you didn't take his heartbeat, you didn't take his pulse, and you didn't feel Fred or anything.
Do you know who I am?
Howard Stern.
That's right. Who are you?
Baba Booey.
What is your job? What is Baba Booey's job? To make calls.
You want.
Right. When we have emergencies, you ought to take care of them. You got to handle yourself in a more brilliant way.
I can't imagine that you see a bunch of people crowded around one of your friends and you don't break through to see what's going on.
He knew what I saw. Baba Booey. He knew what was going on.
He's standing there. First he said
he panicked.
He walked in and somebody said call 911.
No.
Then he's telling me he stood there while there was a debate as to whether to call 911.
He was there. Gary saw Fred's body. Fred was laying unconscious with a pool of blood. And Gary choked on the phone.
Let me explain to you what happened.
And thank God the EMS worker
was through Gary.
Thank God the EMS worker was conscious.
Would you guys shut up?
Can you believe this guy?
Am I here?
And he saw everything. everything.
Am I invisible?
He's amazing. I can't believe he did that.
Gary saw everything. I remember him standing in the room.
I don't think he's conscious, and I
Because
don't think he's
he
bleeding.
doesn't listen. This is the same thing when I tell him back in the office to do something.
What, does he not believe his own eyes?
No.
Robin, the entire debate took
I
place
don't
in
trust
15
my
seconds.
own vision.
You can shut up because you weren't there and you don't know anything.
Where is the Gary puppet?
Oh, my God.
Where is the Gary puppet? I want to talk to him. That's who I'm interested in speaking to. My right-hand man is a panicking dope. Gary puppet?
If you think this is bad, you should have heard what my uncle did back in Dallas in 1963.
What was that?
Hello, Dallas? Mr. JFK is in the car. I think he's car sick. He seems to be conscious, and his wife doesn't seem to be too upset.
Is that right?
Had a real big beat on the situation.
Thank you, Gary Puppet. What is it, Stuttering John?
We got one of the paramedics on the phone who was in help with Fred, and he saw Fred's body naked, and he could tell us about Fred's private part.
Oh, really?
Really? You saw Fred naked? Are you naked?
Is that proper?
Hey,
is that proper medical etiquette?
You saw Fred naked?
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, I wasn't one of the paramedics that actually brought him to the hospital, but I was at the hospital when he was brought there. And I was in the back of the emergency room. I had just finished bringing one of my patients, and the doctor quickly pulled me over to assist him to take him off the devices that he was put on, the collar and the board, and we had to cut his clothes off to further examine him for any other injuries.
He's a liar because Fred took his clothes home in a bag.
Yeah, what's he talking
Nobody cut Fred's clothes off.
Yeah, you're lying, aren't you?
No.
Okay, wait a second.
Listen. I'm a little nervous, but I was there. Ask me any questions.
Okay, is Fred, I don't know how to say this.
No.
I'm not going to get into...
All right, describe Fred naked. What did you see? Any distinguishing marks?
Like birthmarks or
anything unusual. Tattoo, anything.
Something that would be identifying.
He had an earring.
All right.
Down there?
No. And his cut was right on his chin where I put the plastic collar on him.
Yeah.
But he was basically naked. That's right. He had his underwear on, and that's about it.
Oh, so you didn't see his penis.
I did, but I don't want to get into that. I just heard Fred, because he's right. You should have...
Oh, it's all right. We were giving you permission.
We want to make sure it was Fred.
Yeah, we want to make sure it was Fred. We want to make sure you know what you're talking about. You saw Fred naked?
Absolutely.
And what did you see?
I saw OJ. Well, what do you... What do you want to know? I mean,
tell me what you saw. Was there anything unusual down there?
Fred has something unusual about him. If you saw him naked, you could identify Fred.
Oh, I know, but I don't think I could. I know what you're getting at.
What are we getting at?
Whether he was circumcised or uncircumcised.
Oh, this guy must have seen.
Fred.
Let me ask you something.
That doesn't mean anything. I can tell you, but I'm not.
Well, tell me.
I can't.
Well, we all know. We've said it on the air. Is Fred circumcised or not?
I can't.
Come on, we all know.
You know, I got to tell you something. This is my worst nightmare.
That cracked your chin?
Yeah.
They would have been calling to say, we saw Howard naked.
Yeah, and he's right. There's a little nub there.
This guy told me that Fred was well endowed.
I'm not going to say whether he was circumcised or not, but...
Then what'd you call?
As far as about the button, he doesn't have to worry about that.
About what?
About him having a button, he doesn't have to worry about that.
Oh, yeah, he's well endowed, huh?
Well, in my job, I'm forced to see a lot of body parts.
Right.
And he doesn't have to worry about that.
He's
really?
well represented.
No kidding.
Absolutely.
You know, I always thought Fred had a small one because...
Would you say that Fred is above average?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, good for you. I always thought Fred was kind of tiny because Fred always is hiding it.
Yeah.
Like, he's worse than I am.
But I think that's because of his circumcised or uncircumcised
and I have
state.
certain things that I have to take care of.
What
oh,
is it
right.
you, Fred?
Oh, that's right. When you're not circumcised,
It's kind of, well, how
do
I put this without somebody going insane?
You know, you need toilet paper.
Dribble.
Right.
You do dribble.
Yes.
He really was totally out of it.
He's got a fuck. Was Fred dribbling as you?
I'll have to explain to you off the...
No. The doctor was examining him, and I was just...
I wonder if Fred evacuated during this because he had lost all control.
And think of how much he had drank.
Yeah.
No. He was
that out to my...
Wouldn't it be great if they were examining Fred and they found out that Fred always hides his weenie is because it has an eyelid on it and they can see? Yeah, it actually is a person.
He's got a cyclops.
You winked at the paramedic.
Yeah, right. So you mean if a guy comes in for a chin injury, you guys have to undress him and see him totally naked?
Well,
of course.
We don't know what was before that. I mean, from what I understand from the other from the paramedics that brought him in, he had fallen. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Well, you want to examine him for any other injuries.
Do me a favor. If I ever fall, don't examine my penis.
No.
I don't care about anything else.
Poor Fred's penis.
You could have examined Fred in his underpants.
No one's examining your penis, but all the clothing comes off. Everything, socks, underwear, T-shirts, everything comes off.
I don't want that.
They have to catheterize Fred?
No.
Oh. That hurts just to say it.
No.
Every guy just crossed his
I hate when Robin does
Fred
that.
loves that.
Ooh. I see catheter.
And I'd be very nervous.
I see fully catheter.
Yeah, so... Oh, he's turned his radio on. Yeah, right.
No, I'm here.
All right. So anyway, what you're telling me is when a guy gets a chin injury, he's got to be naked on the table. My worst nightmare. That's just what I thought.
Well, when somebody falls and is unconscious.
Hey, you guys did a real good job with Fred, though. I got to admit, you guys came real quick. Judging by Gary's idiotic call, you guys should never have shown up.
We haven't even heard the rest of the call. Whatever made them come? Because Gary said Fred's fault.
I have to tell you guys something. You were lucky, the crew that responded to Fred.
Right. Yeah.
They're like one of the best in the city.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah, they're my co-workers, and they were really excellent. So this Fred really got like the best pre-hospital ambulance care that he can get.
Yeah, what kind of accent you got there? Spanish?
Yeah, Spanish.
Hey, so did you go through Fred's pockets?
Yeah, I want my $20 back.
See, I see $20.
I don't have an accent.
You don't have an accent?
No.
Oh, come on.
Nervous, that's all.
He's got
Born and raised in the city, I have no accent.
Oh, please. Castro laughs at your accent.
Give back Fred's Swiss Army knife.
What is it?
He says he has no accent.
I know. He doesn't hear it. He thinks you have an accent. All right, my friend.
Ricardo on the phone.
Lucy, I'm home from the club.
Howard, can I ask you a question?
Certainly.
Who was the guy with Dominic Barbara? Who was that?
His son.
That was his son.
Oh, he was walking around like he was an FBI agent.
No. I know.
He had glasses on, and he was like
when your
walking
father
in front of him and opening the door. And
when your father pampers you your whole life, you will get a certain FBI attitude.
Yeah.
All right.
You watch him.
They both do sort of swagger around.
Yes, they do. They're very impressed with themselves.
Well, Dominic can't help it.
Thank you very much, sir.
Sure, I'm a big fan of the show. You guys are great.
And I think you're great, too.
Well, Fred's very happy that you gave a good report on him.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye to you.
All the women can be said that Fred got married because he's well endowed.
Boy, Robin, that's got to kill you, huh?
I never knew.
Is that the bitterest pill, Robin?
Behind that beautiful butt.
All right, Gary, let's listen to the rest of your EMS call. I am shocked by what I'm hearing. I really am shocked because I saw you in the room before you called, and you were there enough
and
to see.
And you could see that he saw Fred.
Admit you panicked.
No, I'm not admitting I panicked.
Okay, fine.
There's a bunch of guys around and they sent me and told me to call 911 right away.
All right, stand by. He's 60th Street and 2nd Avenue, but he is awake, right?
Between 1st and 2nd, I believe he is.
Oh, I believe he is. Why would you believe he was?
Why would you believe anything?
Why do you say you don't know?
You could talk to Lonnie. Why couldn't you get some information relayed back
Compared to Gary, he was awake.
I know. Gary should have been... You know what? You know what? When they showed up... They took Gary off on the stretcher. Unbelievable.
Yeah. But Fred could have made a better phone call.
I know. You should put the phone in front of Fred's unconscious mouth. It's amazing how you get everything wrong. And this is, I tell you that this is not the first time. I'm telling you, now I have proof. Thank you.
He confuses everything.
That's just how he handles my business activities. This is why I'm going nowhere.
He's like a soothsayer.
Was Fred out immediately?
He's like a tooth sayer.
Was Fred out the second he went down? Was he out immediately?
Yes,
immediately.
He was out.
He fainted before he fell.
Gary, when he was drunk, he was out.
Yeah, but I didn't see him before. I'm telling you, I only know...
you were there with us. There was a pool of blood around that guy. Why would we...
Howard, why would
we were standing with you discussing to call EMS. I said the guy is laying there...
Why would I lie?
Because you always have to act like you know when you don't.
Wait a second. Why would I lie?
Instead of saying to them...
If you didn't know anything.
You should have said, I don't know what to say.
Why would I lie about a pool of blood?
Because you always give an answer when you don't know. This is your problem. It's like when I once told... I'll give you a perfect example of Gary. For a while, Gary used to answer my phone, and whenever a reporter would call, they'd say, we want to speak to Howard. And Gary would say, Howard is not available. Howard doesn't comment to the newspapers. They'd say, well, let me get a comment from you. Gary would say, no, I don't comment either. But, Gary, what do you think about this? He said, look, This is the way I feel, but I'm not supposed to comment. So finally I gave Gary an order. I said, don't comment to the newspapers. 2 days later, Gary is quoted in a newspaper article. Why? Because Gary says, well, I tried to tell the guy I don't comment, and when I told him my thoughts, I didn't think he would write them down. He just opens his mouth too much. When you don't know something, you say, I don't know. You didn't know you said that Fred was not. So you would say, I don't know if he's in a pool of blood. I don't know if he's bleeding. I don't know if he's conscious.
Why are you making this call? Why wouldn't somebody just say, I don't know what's happening? Have somebody else make
you
that
don't
call.
know anything.
Oh, come on.
Well, you know,
this is embarrassing.
Shut up. You have no clue, as usual.
Oh, boy.
You are clueless, Robin.
I know more about what was going on with Fred, and I wasn't even there.
Admit you were mixed up. You were mixed up.
Robin knows how to do everything better from her perch at home than she does in real life.
Well, come on, you were mixed up.
I could have made his informed phone call.
Then you should have, Robin.
I could have.
Robin knew more about Fred's condition than you did.
We should have called you, Queenie.
I could have said, I don't know.
The Queen. We should have called the Queen.
I don't know, just like you did.
He was self-conscious about his teeth in front of all the girls.
Actually, you lied.
There's a din in my headphones. Now, what did you have to say?
I said
believe
you were probably self-conscious about your teeth in front of all the girls.
There were no girls around the phone.
Oh, okay.
If I made the friend Gary, I would just like to say one thing. He didn't lie. Sometimes he just says things that later turn out to be untrue.
Right.
But I love
Shut up, you piece of wood.
I love the I believe.
I won't be with you
I believe.
this weekend.
I believe that Fred is conscious.
The Scores Club?
Yes.
I believe,
Okay, we will have an ambulance.
Why does he believe if he doesn't know?
I believe that he is not bleeding. I believe.
Then why are you calling?
You guys are jerks.
He was in the room. He knew what was going on. He panicked. He panicked. He won't admit it.
Panicked.
All right.
Yes.
That's it. Wow.
Stupidity is better to plead, I suppose, than panic.
I don't know.
You panicked. Congratulations on turning a minute-and-a-half tape into a half-hour bit.
Okay.
You are a genius.
All right, thank you.
I'll
take the compliment.
Good job.
I must say, you once again have provided me with excellent material.
You know what, Gary? Listen to this phone call and say, there's nothing here to be embarrassed about.
Yeah.
No, I said...
Gary got the call. Yes, he couldn't wait for me to get it on air because he was like, I handled myself so well.
No, Howard, why did you listen to anything? It's not true. I said right
Hello,
up front.
operator?
I said right up front.
Hello, operator. There is red dye by Fred's head.
I said right up front that I had only been in the room for a second. That's why I said that.
Hello, operator. Could you stop and pick me up a burger? I do not believe there's any blood, and Fred is very conscious. Come on, you blew it.
I did not blow it.
You
I did
still
the
admit
best I could under the circumstances. I totally defend myself, and I say...
Why were you calling 911 if Fred wasn't bleeding and Fred was conscious?
What?
Why were you calling 911?
Because he was obviously hurt. That much we knew. He was down on the ground.
But why wouldn't he ask you... If I ask you a question, I'm going to ask you a question right now. What position is the moon in right now?
I don't know.
You don't know, so you say I don't know.
I believe it's in
now I'm going to ask you another question. Now I'm going to ask you another question. Is Fred bleeding?
Right now. No.
Did you look?
I don't have to look. I know.
No, you don't know.
I
don't know.
Deductive reasoning.
No. That's what you used on the phone to the EMS worker.
And you deduced wrongly.
You just say, I believe.
Out of my peripheral vision, I can see that Fred is not bleeding.
Practice the sentence. I believe, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what you do. You say, I don't know. Or you say, wait a second, let me ask.
We were trying to get someone there as quick as possible.
How would you get somebody there quick?
On the other side of the club.
He's not sick.
I'm amazed they even showed up.
Oh, you guys are crazy.
I think maybe they showed up because it was Scores. They want to see some naked girl.
He was playing Tooth Knack on the phone. I believe.
Tooth Knack. Hello, this is Tooth Knack.
You son of a bitch.
I believe.
You're so lucky we're separated by glass.
I am Tooth Knack.
Tooth Knack. All I know is...
And you too.
I cannot believe that phone call.
Then don't believe it.
I got to hear it again.
I have to go. There's a naked girl waiting to come in.
Is that right?
I hope so.
I hope so.
That's the only thing that can rescue you.
Police 1092 with emergency.
Wait, Gary, put on your hat. Put on your tooth knack. Give the Gary Puppet his tooth knack hat. Unbelievable. I mean, I am really shocked. I had no idea.
An amazing call. That you got some help is amazing.
I know. I want to thank the EMS workers for responding, even though that idiot called. Gary was unconscious. I guess he had been drinking.
I don't know who they should have taken.
Wait a second. Tooth Knack wants to say something.
Well, sometimes I make too many wrong mistakes. Yucca.
All right. Thank you, Tooth Knack.
Yes, it's at a club called Scores. It's on 60th between 1st and 2nd.
East 60th Street between 1st Avenue and 2nd Avenue?
That's correct.
And what's wrong there?
Somebody fell down. It looks like they might have cracked their head open.
Okay, and this place is called Scores?
Scores.
S-C-O-R-E-S?
Yeah.
Only a woman would need that repeated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has
every
to
guy.
repeat that address 50 times. Every guy knows.
Every guy has it in his wallet. See, if it was a guy answering the phone, would have been Scores. Okay, we'll get someone right over.
In fact, all he would have had to say was 60th between. They said Scores.
Yeah,
fine.
we got it.
We'll be right there.
First floor?
Yes.
What's the number you're calling from?
What's the number here, Lonnie? 42.
He has Lonnie there to ask him the number, but he doesn't ask him if Fred's bleeding.
421.
Hold on for EMS. Don't hang up the phone.
I won't.
Okay.
Thank God Lonnie was there for the number.
EMS 8629. Okay, 8629. I'm 1092. I'm Manhattan calling the line. Thank you. Caller in Manhattan. Is the patient awake and breathing?
I think so, yes.
Male or female?
I think so.
But he clearly says he cracked his head open.
Yeah.
Male.
Approximately how old?
35.
What happened to him, sir?
He fell down, and I think he might have smashed his head open or something.
Or something.
Or something.
Fall down, go boom. Fall down, go boom. Oh,
He's got a boo-boo.
He has boo-boo, Wolf. He has a boo-boo.
A lot of red stuff by his mouth. I think he was eating M&M's.
A lot of bleeding, sir?
I can't tell. You know what? There's a bunch of guys around, and they sent me and told me to call 911 right away.
All right, stand by. He's 60th Street and 2nd Avenue, but he is awake, right?
Between 1st and 2nd. I believe he is.
He's awake, but I'm not.
I think Gary's asleep. I think he thought she said, "Are you awake?"
Yeah. You know, there are 5-year-olds who make better 911.
Have you ever heard the EMS calls that they play on the news after a 5-year-old kid is home and his father's asleep in the tub and they can't figure it out and the kid's like, yeah, he's unconscious?
My father's drowning and his blood pressure is 120 over 80. But Fred, I don't know.
Phone number 421.
I can't tell if he's bleeding. There's too much red stuff by his head.
Yeah.
There's blood on the floor.
I can't tell if he's awake or not. His eyes are closed.
Club?
Yes.
Okay, we will have an ambulance here.
No, I can't take it anymore because this is hey, Baba Booey Puppet. Repeat after me.
Okay.
I know nothing.
Know nothing.
And oftentimes.
A
lot less.
A lot less.
In an emergency.
In an emergency.
I am worthless. As breasts on a bull. The Lindbergh baby.
Will
be home any minute. I am celebrating. That today. I have my shoes on. The right feet. All right, very good.
Thank you, Wolf.
All right.
I just want to add one thing. If excuses are the nails used to build a house of failure, then Gary just built a skyscraper.
Thank you, Gary Puppet. All right, Gary Puppet making an appearance with his Karnak hat. What is it? Tooth knack. What is it, Southern John?
Gary's really mad.
Is he upset?
He's
What's
really
he saying?
Can you believe this? Can you believe this?
But who can believe it? Can you believe it?
I'm laughing. I'm like, God, you got to admit it's funny.
I can't believe it.
I can't believe this call.
Get it on tape for the TV show.
I know. I told him that.
Don't miss a single angry moment.
Are you going to put a transcript underneath the call?
But seriously, John, am I crazy here?
No. Because
I mean, if he's asking Lonnie for the number, so if you don't know the guy's unconscious, why would you say he's conscious?
No, the funniest thing to me is that he says his head's cracked open, but he doesn't know if he's bleeding.
Yeah. So how did he know his head was cracked open?
I don't know. There's too much blood on the floor.
How can someone see through all this thick red stuff?
Another chance.
Right?
Yeah, no, you're right. But I'm sure that when Gary listened to this, he said, I didn't do anything wrong.
Do me a favor, run into Gary's office and tell him you just cut your hand off and tape him calling the emergency room. That'd be great.
Hello, this is EMS. What is the problem?
600 Madison Avenue.
That's a big problem, 600 Madison Avenue.
Oh, you mean Tom Chiasano?
No, not that problem. A different problem.
What is the problem there?
All right. Listen, the guy got a little nervous, that's all. The guy got a little nervous.
I believe...
And in Gary's defense, he was terrific at the hospital.
I believe he's unconscious.
Who is that, Fred?
No, our general manager.
It's like Gary's making predictions.
I believe, but the guy's in the next room. What do you mean, I believe?
I believe he is conscious.
I see OJ.
I believe I see OJ, and he's looking real scared.
You need an ambulance? No, but I think Fred might.
They just told me to call 911. I don't know why.
There's a group of people in the other room just told me to dial this number.
Who is it?
They said dial 911. And I did. Uh-oh. No. All right, come on.
Oh, no. Our good friend Dominic's on the phone. He says, he calls up, I want in.
Dominic, you're on the air.
You know what he just said to me? I'm not putting you through. I said, why not? He says, I don't want to prolong this. I had to threaten him.
911. Dominic, is that your weight?
Howard, there's a girl waiting to get naked.
Is it really?
Yeah.
All right, Dominic, I got to go.
When he got to the emergency room, he handled everything very, very well.
All right, very good,
He
Dominic.
even remembered Fred's name.
All right, very good. Thank you. Dominic Barber, bloated attorney.
Thank you.
I want in.
I want in.
I want them. In between mouthfuls, I want them.
All right, let's take a break, everyone. It's time to get serious as women want to take their clothes off. Let's stop with all the fun. Let's just bring that fun to a halt.
Can't we continue with Gary?
Well, after.
It's not funny anymore.
It's not funny. We played it out.
I just want to say one thing. Only one person ever understood me, and even he didn't understand me.
Here you go.
Thank you, Gary.
I like how Toothknack wears his Toothknack hat underneath his nose.
Ow!
I think Toothknack will be on the E! Show tonight, won't he?
I think so.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Robin?
Yes?
Think of a number 1 through 10. Have you thought of a number?
Yes.
Okay, what's that number?
The number is 7.
That's absolutely right.
All right, Toothknack, that's enough.
I can answer anything.
Toothknack, see if you're if the guy with his hand up your back can press a commercial down.